Hello, beach friends. This is my 334th video upload, which means I've shared approximately 167 hours of beachcombing adventures with you. Over that time, I've learned quite a bit about the beach and what I think makes a great beachcombing video. Sometimes the beach is incredibly generous, offering up plenty of treasures to discover and admire, making my job pretty easy. Other times, the beach makes me work for it. When the pickings are slim, I find myself paying attention to things I might not usually notice. But no matter what, my goal is to find interesting things to share with you. In most videos, I share my location, the time of year, the tides, the temperature, and other useful tips to help you learn about the beach, or maybe even plan a trip down here yourself. However, a couple of weeks ago, I was invited on a private tour and I was asked not to disclose the location. I respected that request, and while I was able to share an amazing beach experience, I couldn't reveal exactly where I was. Recently, I was given the opportunity to return to this secret place somewhere in Southwest Florida. And of course, I said yes. I was hoping for another incredible shelling experience. So today's trip will be a little different, but we'll revisit that same spot and compare how the shelling is exactly 3 weeks after my first visit. So, if you're ready to see what treasures are waiting for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, before we jump into the video, I got to see a pair of bald eagles at the marina before I even started my adventure. That was really exciting. Florida, oh, everything lives here. I love living here. So we're going to explore an island somewhere in Southwest Florida. The tide is actually coming in. It's low enough, but it's coming in. Temperature's great. Last time I was here, the tide was a lot lower. However, when I pop onto the beach and this is the first thing I see, well, I suspect we're going to have a pretty good day. This is a big old shark eye or moonsnail, or it's a shark eye moonsnail. One of a few different types of moonsnails we can find down here. Oh my, all right, so I already got myself a Gaudinautica on the right. That is a colorful moonsnail and a alphabet cone. So, oh, things are looking pretty darn good. Now, this is a turkey wing. I love the contrast of the browns and whites. They will always be brown and white, and actually they're kind of hard to find in good condition. And here we have a fighting conch. So it's been here a minute. I'm going to leave it here, but I'm going to hold on to that turkey wing. All right. The tide's coming in. I got some beach to cover, so I am not going to waste too much time. Except for if it comes to a critter, I have to say hi. So this is a short spine urchin. They are beautiful. They cover themselves with seashells. They're little tube feet. And they will, if they detect danger, they will kind of like point their spines at what they think might be looming above them. Now they have something called pentaradial symmetry. Can't really see it on that. Let me show you here. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So urchins have, their bodies are in like 5 different pieces, kind of like sand dollars, because sand dollars are also echinoderms. So anyway, I nerded out there for a minute. We'll just see that creature and we're just going to move on. Oh, to the next seashell, which happens to be an alphabet cone. Oh, and it's a good one. So the alphabet cone gets its name because of the little markings that look like letters. Much like the lettered olive, they also seem to think that those markings look like letters. Oh, another moonsnail. Oh, that one's even better. Oh, look how gorgeous. And when it has a blue eye like that, that's called, or we call it a Paul Newman shark eye. And I'm looking to see if it's a false shark eye or a true shark eye. So that is a true, beautiful Paul Newman shark eye. And here is another alphabet cone. Now, alphabet cones are very desirable. At least to me, they are. So it's always exciting. I'm always looking for them. They're just wonderful. So that is another alphabet cone. So I will be searching for those spots today. Oh, here's another cone. So this is called a Florida cone. This one is almost pristine because typically they will have cracks and different marks in them. They live a hard knock life, those Florida cones. Oh, a calico scallop. Isn't that lovely? Very nice markings on that. They range in all different colors, mostly pinks and purples. So the oranges, I kind of feel they're a little more special, a little more rare. I see spots. I do. And it's attached to an entire cone. Sometimes it's just a piece. Yay. All right, we got some E's and Y's. So another fabulous alphabet cone. But what else is here? So the tide is higher now than it was when I came the first time. So, you know, I'm kind of going to be checking out the water. Look at that little slippery horse conch. Look at the color. So that's our state shell, the Florida horse conch. I see a repair on it. Oh, it's gorgeous. The color, oh, bright, beautiful orange. So that is a horse conch. Oh, got myself a new hat, new LA Dodgers hat. So any of the garbage I find, as long as I can carry it, goes in my shell bag, and I will remove that from the beach. All right, this is a lightning whelk. Is it whole? Yes. Is it empty? Oh, in that order. Oh, it's a good one. Now, sadly, lightning whelks will use the edge of their shell as a tool to kind of pry open clams and things like that. So it's not terribly uncommon that you'd find the aperture or the very edge of the opening kind of broken. I think it's kind of cool. I'm going to assume that this critter was out doing all sorts of really adventurous things, and that's how those little breaks in the shell got there. So I'm going to definitely hold on to that beautiful lightning whelk. Oh, I see spots. And yeah, sometimes it's just a piece. That's okay. Still honing my skills. I did look like an alphabet cone. Another, all right, so this is a colorful moonsnail, also known as a gaudy nautica. And I could pick these up for days. I love them. Love the shape, the colors, just something about that gorgeous seashell. And another. Oh, and it's a good one too. Yeah, the alphabet cones, the aperture for me. Yeah, so pretty much the first thing I check for to see if that's broken or intact. But another fabulous alphabet cone. Right here we have a spiny jewel box. We have both pieces. It is a bivalve. So bivalves will start off in two pieces. A lot of times they'll break apart. This one, the hinge is still intact. So this would be considered a gastropod. So we have bivalves and gastropods. This is a banded tulip. I do think, now that I'm paying attention, that those orange ones are a little more rare. I'm not going to say rare. Oh, rare? Did I say rare? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is a rose murex. It's small. It's not like, oh my goodness. So it's not an adult, it is a juvenile rose murex, but it's got its little tail, its little spikes on it. Oh, it's so delicate and beautiful. Look at the color on that. Oh, beautiful rose murex. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, so this is a tinted cantharus. I'm not going to go quite as crazy, even though inside I am, because I really do like those shells. So that is a tinted cantharus. Here's a lettered olive. One after the other. So this gets its name from little markings on its shell. That's an alphabet cone we're going to leave behind. A bay scallop. Oh, that's in good condition. Fantastic. So we got ourselves a bay scallop and a lettered olive. Oh, hello, gorgeous. You're a little bit bigger. I know there's a little break in the aperture. Don't care. The size, the color is enough for me. I think that is fantastic. Great. So another really pretty horse conch. Once those get bigger though, they really kind of lose their color. They kind of get bleached out. And sometimes they are albino. All right, that was just a true tulip I picked up. And as I was editing, I did see the bottom of a moonsnail. So I'm hoping I'm going to go back to that moonsnail. So that is an nutmeg. Been here a while. It's usually more beaded, so it probably has been rolling around the beach for a little while, got kind of worn down. That's a crown conch. I have not found one in a while. So I want to hold on to that. It's not in terrific shape, but again, just because for me it's rare, I haven't found one in a while, so I'm going to hold on to that. And then we have an apple murex. It has some lovely texture to it. And in the back of my head, I'm wondering why did I not pick up that moonsnail? And it really was driving me crazy. So I went back to the footage, and as it turns out, it was kind of pitted. So I just passed it over. And those kind of things, sometimes you can't see on video. So sometimes I will check out a shell like this one. Yep, that's going to stay here. And other times I can tell that it's not something I'm going to keep, so I will just simply pass it over. But if you think I missed something, you guys are pretty good at pointing out when I tend to miss things, but not that lightning whelk. That lightning whelk will come home with me. So that's a true tulip. They are rather rare compared to the banded tulips. And the color, oh, such a rich reddish brown color. Beautiful. So far this beach is being very, very kind to me. Here is another alphabet cone. Yeah, with the aperture not quite perfect. And sometimes that is okay. So we have another alphabet cone. Well, this is looking good too. All right, Splendid. And it's kind of hard. I remember like, oh, should I go up there to shell? Should I be in the water? I tend to prefer the water, but that's not to say that there won't be fabulous things up on the beach. So looks like I'm going to inspect here. All right, 2 banded tulips. And those are like the kind of brown. No, they're not orange. I'm gonna pay attention to that because I'm surprised I didn't notice that before now. So looking for spots or knobs. Oh, here's some spots. Look at the size of that. So that is a rather sizable alphabet cone. And as the shells get older, they just put more shell material on their shell, and that's what actually makes them bigger. So the shells, or the snails rather, will just continue to grow. Oh, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now I know it's confusing. That is a true tulip, and I know it has bands on it, like the banded tulip, but the bands are different. They're much closer together, and the color of the true tulips, much more vibrant. And the camera's going to struggle a minute here. Luckily, the water's nice and clear, so I can spy this apple murex and that apple murex. Fantastic. Oh, and they're both rather on the large side. So a pair of fabulous apple murex. I will have to admit, they're not terribly uncommon. The apple murex, you can pretty much find them on any beach you go to down here. That is a pear whelk. Very nice. Got some nice coloring, nice size. Oh, and another true tulip. Look at that color. That's interesting. Now, the true tulips get pretty big. I'm going to say that, tell me if I'm wrong. That's like the 3rd biggest shell we'll get here. We get the horse conchs, the lightning whelks will get rather large, and then the true tulips can also get pretty big. All right, we got some sandy shells here. That is a ribbed cantharus. But the color, oh, it's like a morph color, so it should be tan and brown, but it's not. It's kind of orange, and that makes me so happy. I love the miscolored things. Oh, and then we have a gaudy nautica, so another one of those colorful moon snails. I do kind of prefer the ones that are very colorful, very stripy with all those little tiger markings on it. And then an Atlantic white simile with a little, yeah, it's got pink like zigzags in it. So far the beach is being very good to me. Oh, here's a nutmeg. So that one, see, that's a little more beaded. That has a pretty, like, I guess beaded texture. I don't know what else you would call that. All right, scanning. Am I going to go for the buttercup lucine? And it's probably not, yeah, not terribly buttery. That's a diet one. Okay, and a purplish tagalus. Got just a little bit of that periostracum on it. Some more colorful shells. That one's pretty colorful. A bay scallop. Those are very fun to clean in acid. The acid will burn off that top layer of like calcification, revealing that beautiful rich orange red color underneath on the base scallops. Very fun. That's a little horse conch of the, and that's yellow compared to, it can be that bright orange color. Those other larger ones were very orange. Oh, another gaudy nautica. Splendid. Oh, that's a big one too. Look at that. Oh, it's big. It's so pretty. So yeah, I am glad I decided to come back. Now that, so some of the olives can be considered a golden olive. And while this absolutely has some of the colors, you know, there's a little bit of like coloration in there. It should really just be like a solid yellow color. I want to go with that's a golden-ish lettered olive. Calico scallop, lovely. Pinkish purple. And the two valves will not be identical. They will be a little different. Okay, I see a lace murex and ponderous arc, but I suspect I'm going to go for that lace murex. Oh, it's kind of like worn. That's like a Wabi Sabi. So what is Wabi Sabi? Well, it's a Japanese term that really kind of talks about the imperfection. So finding the beauty in things that are imperfect or impermanent. So that makes that shell just fabulous. It's a Wabi Sabi lace murex. Now, when I was here 3 weeks ago, there was a massive shell pile along that ledge there. So it's definitely different. A lot of the shell piles that were here are gone. I was able to literally just walk up to this and pick up like 2 alphabet cones. Oh, it's so fun. Today, it'll be a top snail. Definitely not as exciting as an alphabet cone, but still extremely awesome. So I am not complaining. I am merely just comparing. Because look, if I'm bending down picking up shells, I'm a happy gal. Okay, let's check out this little pile. All right, so it's looking pretty typical. Anything special? Another base scallop? Yeah, it's been here a minute. You'll see the calcification, that whitish on the seashell. Ah, no, thought something caught my eye, but all right, back down to the, closer to the water. All right, here is a calico clam. Another lovely bivalve. As far as that's just fantastic. I guess I'm used to the quahogs, which are just really plain. So to see bivalves with so many different colors and textures. So this is a much more buttery buttercup lucine. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes they can be so rich, it's almost orange. Beautiful buttercup lucine. Hello, little alphabet cone. Just a wee little thing. And those, that's more like a Morse code cone, not really so much alphabets. Okay, some garbage. We'll take that off the beach along with that hat. Oh, that shark eye is trying to get away. Now, I wanted to call this like the sleepy shark eye because it's red. So if the blue is Paul Newman and this one's red, I don't really want to call it a hangover. The sleepy shark eye, I don't know. But that is indeed a moonsnail called a shark eye. That is a horse conch. Big old one. So we're finding that little yellow one, some of the kind of smaller orange ones. And as they get bigger, that bright orange tends to go away. I have seen the adult shells that were bright orange, but I just think it's rather rare. So that specimen we are going to leave here. All right. See what else? Oh, a sand dollar. So we were talking earlier about that urchin. So this is also an echinoderm. And while you can see the petal, it's got those 5 pieces on it, very obvious. Pental radial symmetry. It also has 5 little grinding plates as it's in its mouth. Oh, a mossy arc. They're so weird. I love them. So that little wave in the shell, that's natural. That's the way they are. Fabulous. It's very voluptuous. It's a voluptuous mossy arc. Oh, Another beaded shell. That is a chestnut turban. Very cute little beaded thing. Oh, and the fighting conch. Which happened? Oh, that's pretty nice with its knobs and its zigzags. It's a chestnut turban and a fighting conch. Oh, see, now this is my other kind of favorite moonsnail. It's a colorful moonsnail, but it doesn't really, the color is more, it doesn't have those tiger stripes. They call it a Vera's moonsnail. I love them. I think they're beautiful. Okay, another nutmeg. Never turn down a nutmeg. This little twirly inside. I did finally find a live one. That was very exciting. That was over on a different Southwest Florida island. Okay, another moonsnail. So a shark eye moonsnail, which is neither Sleepy or Paul Newman. That almost looked false-ish. Lovely shark eye moonsnail. Oh, another colorful moonsnail. Oh, this is a good day for them, which is fine by me. I literally could just pick those up all day long. And I paired that with another fighting conch. So the weather has been really good to me. The island has been really good to me. And I know I've been chatting along this whole time. So I am going to be quiet for a moment and let you enjoy some beach time. All right, here's another little fighting conch. So the fighting conchs, there used to be a Florida fighting conch and a West Indian fighting conch. And then they decided there's no such thing as a Florida fighting conch. So I call them fighting conchs because I'm really used to calling them Florida fighting conchs. All right, we're going to throw that garbage in my shell bag. But technically, they're West Indian fighting conchs. Doesn't matter. I kind of get hung up on the names. So I'll just call it fighting conch. Whoa, what was that flash of orange? Is it garbage or organic? Look at that. Now, I think that's probably kind of, even though it's a calico scallop, I feel like that's also like a morph color because you can get the chestnut turbans, the horse conchs, the ribbed cantharus. Some of them are really, really bright orange. That was just unusually bright. Really beautiful. Okay, so some of the shell piles, you have your average stuff. Oh, yeah. Colorful moonsnail that probably will stay here. I have quite a few already today. I don't need to keep that one. Little jewel box. Yeah, little spiny jewel box. No Southwest Florida shell pile would be complete without arcs. Now, I think that's a thick leucine. That yellow one. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, more for me because the Pennsylvania leucine and the thick leucine, they kind of look similar. To me anyway. All right, a broken banded tulip. Here's another gaudy nautica. That one will do. That's a lovely little zigzag moonsnail. Oh, look at that lace murex. That's a Wabi Sabi lace murex if I've ever seen one. All right. Oh, good. I was just going to say, oh, is there another shell pile to check out? Why, yes, there is. And I know in the back of my head, I know the tide's coming in. So perhaps it's pushing things in. That little lettered olive. Checking the shine. Oh, it's missing its top. Yep. It's pretty. The calico scallop. The fighting conch. Yep. Another lettered olive, also missing its top. So clear, I know I remove a lot of shells, but believe me, I leave lots and lots behind as well. Oh, there's another little horse conch. Terrific. Adorable little thing. Now the tide is, yep, it's really coming in. It's nice and warm, but the water's nice and clear. And that's okay. You know, it does make it harder to see the shells, which is why I tend to come at low tide. Wow, look at the orange on that. So I'm going to say it's unusual. It's not necessarily rare, but just kind of unusual to see the bright orange scallops. And that's a nice size lightning whelk. Lightning whelks are relatively, I don't want to necessarily say common, but they're definitely not uncommon. So we have a lightning whelk and a rather unusual calico scallop. And so banded tulip, those bands are always going to be like a 1/4 inch apart every single time. And I remember, I'll tell the story again. I had ran into this other sheller over on Sanibel years ago when I first started shelling, and we exchanged pleasantries. Oh, what did you find today? Oh, I found banded tulips. And he was like, those are rookie shells. And I was like, really? You're going to disparage the shells that I'm, finding and that I thought were kind of cool. And it just was a lesson I'm really glad that I learned, because I will never do that. Every single shell is awesome. And if you like that particular shell, do not let anyone tell you there's anything wrong with it. There's no wrong way to go shelling. Well, with the exception of keeping things that are living. So there is a wrong way. We are going to keep only empty shells. Another one of these beautiful colorful moonsnails that get their name because the animal is very colorful. The shell is very colorful, but it gets its name because the animal is very colorful. Wow. That's another pear whelk. We had found one a little earlier. That one's colors are a little bit more richer. Beautiful pear whelk. Oh, here is a West Indian worm snail. Do like worm snails, and I will pretty much, I mean, as long as it's like a big enough piece, I kind of pick up all of them. I do like the worm snails. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Yeah, certain shells kind of roll a certain way. It's the way they roll. That is another colorful moon snail. Lovely. Oh, a sand dollar. Cool. All right, you're going to hang out with that other sand dollar. Kind of unusual to see it kind of like floating around in the surf, probably a sturdy specimen, and it's called the test. So that's what's left of the animal, the test of the sand dollar. That's a jingle. We typically only get the top part of the jingle. It's also called a baby's foot. It's got a little marking on the inside that looks like a little baby's foot. That is called an alphabet cone. That has been here a minute. I wonder if I don't think, no, actually the cones, they have a harpoon, so they don't need to use their shell to pry open anything. So living, you gotta be a little bit careful with the living alphabet cones. That is beautiful. Look, it's almost like a caramel. Oh, look, and it's another tired. It's a tired shark eye. Beautiful colors. All right, that's a prickly cockle, a yellow prickly cockle. There you can see its little prickliness on the outside. Sometimes they're like a reddish and a yellow color. Another, I see spots. Another cone, fantastic. The aperture is a little beat up. That's okay, it's still a cone. So, is that how you guys roll? Any of you shellers, you kind of like, if it's a good shell, even if it's a little beat up, I'm going to keep it. Oh, that's a nice turkey wing. So I do find that the juvenile turkey wings are in much better condition. That is lovely, lovely turkey wing. Oh, and another one of those ribcanthurus. We have also an apple murex. And that ribcanthurus so it's got kind of like the brown markings it's supposed to have, but the under color is yellow. It should kind of be more of a tan color. But in my opinion, that makes it just a little bit more special. So it was an absolute beautiful day. The shelling was very different 3 weeks later. It wasn't quite as epic. It still was amazing. I have absolutely no reason to complain. And I will show you just in a minute a little bit how different it was. I think perhaps the tide played a little bit into it. So I did forget to weigh this along with the rest of the garbage. So we're going to add that 3 ounces to this 4.7 ounces, which means in total, I've removed a little over 73 pounds of garbage from our beaches. Now, this is the haul from the first time. It really was out of this world. And then this is the haul from today. So a little bit different, but still amazing. There were sand dollars that that white Atlantic simile, the calico scallops, the alphabet cones. There were some horse conchs. There's a couple of nutmegs, a couple of Florida cones, the one crown conch, lightning whelk, Florida prickly cockle, yellow prickly cockle, shark eyes. Then we have some bay scallops. Above that, true tulips, banded tulips. There's one purplish taglis, some spotted slipper snails, a lace murex, some mossy arc, some worm snails, some spiny jewel box, turkey wings, lettered olives, pear whelks. We have some colorful moon snails, some apple murex, some tinted cantharus, some top snails, buttercup lucine, jingle, the thick lucine, Florida fighting conchs. There was an egg cockle, a calico clam, and then my favorites were the big lightning whelk, the golden olive, that shark eye, the rose murex. There's a purple lip fighting conch in there, one of the many alphabet cones, that very bright scallop, and then a couple of those colorful moon snails. So I could not miss the opportunity to go back there again. I mean, the first time was bananas. And I mean it, I don't want every day to be like that, because then it wouldn't make it special. Speaking of special Patreons, you are so special to me, and I cannot thank you enough for choosing to monetarily support me. I truly could not run this channel and do the things I do without you. So thank you very much. We all get to reap the benefits of your generosity. Now, next week we are headed to Keewaydin. Keewaydin's always quite nice, and I learned another really important lesson. So until then, I hope you have yourself a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.